Organized group of thieves has hit the metro. Their operation is so sophisticated it has a nickname known throughout law enforcement.
Mike McKnight talks to a victim who asked not to be identified because she still fears the identity thieves.
Heading for a day of boating on the river, this woman never expected thieves could fish out her wallet from a beach towel bag.
They would have had to unzip the bag and then dig through it, because it was underneath a couple beach towels. They're at the very, very bottom of the bag.
Bellevue police say suspects used the victim's ID and bank account to cash checks stolen from other victims.
They'll take the ID of the victim that they stole it from and then use other checks that they've stolen and write the checks to the person of the ID that they stole. Then they'll go through the banks and cash those checks for cash.
Almost $16,000 stolen in 2 hours from 4 branches of the same bank where the ID theft victim has accounts.
If you're withdrawing large amounts of money, they would definitely ask for your driver's license, and which they had. They had my driver's license and my bank card. So, she could have had her hair pulled up, and, I have longer hair, so a bank teller wouldn't know the difference probably.
Another detective on the case says the stolen ID and bank information from one victim is distributed among several suspects seen allegedly cashing stolen checks.
Looking at the videos, we have at least 3 different cars. Looks like all female drivers. The time frames are probably going out at the same time to hit all these locations as quickly as they can.
And as you can see, sometimes they'll take the plates off of the vehicles before they go in.
The victim suspects she had been targeted while at Bellevue's Hayward Park boating with friends on the Missouri River. On a sunny weekend afternoon, the landing parking lot had been crowded. The victim says she went back down to the dock to help friends pull out a boat, and that took about 10 minutes. But she'd left her bag that contained the wallet inside a vehicle she didn't realize was unlocked. The victim says none of her stolen credit cards had been used, which would have alerted her sooner to the theft.
Lesson learned, never to leave your wallet unattended. Don't trust anybody, especially when you're at lakes or rivers.
Because if stolen, they could be used at bank drive-thrus by the Felony Lane Gang.
That's why they call it the Felony Lane, is because that they use the farthest lane away with the least amount of video coverage.
On your side in Bellevue, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
Bellevue police say the checks used in the scam had been stolen in 2 car break-ins.
One in Council Bluffs, the other at a Sarpy County golf course.
They're investigating if a similar crime spree in Sioux Falls is connected.
If you have any information on this case, call Sarpy County Crime Stoppers.